This person is saying that I thought the class is 2 hours. Tall. Even myself, I thought it was 2 hours. Sir? Eh? Oh. Yes. All right. Hello, guys. Can I start? It's getting almost to 11.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So we're saying, I thought the class is for 2 hours. Of course. You don't know. It's just like a play with children. They will tell you just this one. Especially when you are playing football with them. You say, this one, uncle, this one. You just kick it. They'll say, just this one again. Every Nigerian is entitled to 3 finalists. They'll say, finally, and finally. That's what we are doing. All right, guys. I was saying about naming. You cannot and you should not know that there is immediate penalty, right? But you shouldn't name your files or folders, for as far as programming is concerned, file folders, class name, object names. Don't, if it is two words, just use underscore or use dash to join them, please, because the consequences it will cost you, oh Jesus, you will think like you don't know anything about programming. You will never find that error. You will not even know that it's the one firing you. For what is due already, it will just scatter everything for you. And you feel so disappointed. By that time, it will be maybe too late, because if it is a commercial project that you are supposed to hand over to the client, you begin to see that as if they are following you from your village. You cannot identify. The most difficult error to fix is when the system of your naming is very, very unprofessional. It's very, programmers take it very, very, they are very, very careful when they are naming. Time will come, I'll teach you how to create a folder like project folder. Project folder is different from creating normal folders that you know how to create. Creating a project folder, like we use starter and final, and public and private. We use those names like that. The one that is going to be private, the one that is going to be public, and the one that is going to be starter, like the beginner one, and the one that is going to be final, and in between. So all those things I will teach you how to do it, because if you don't know now, you may be thinking like the guy didn't establish the fundamental very well. So yeah, so that is it for the naming. There's nothing much in it. This is the assignment which you have to do, right? You cannot get me to do your assignment for you. For as far as this is concerned, given by the 2 questions underneath, you're going to see give appropriate class names to all the H1, P, and divs, just like a walk in the park now. Give the blog post appropriate IDs to walk in the park. So don't tell me that this and that. I expect everybody to submit this thing by Monday morning. And do us a favor by filling this our registration form is very important place. The people who have mandated us to start this training, to do this training with you, they have told us that they need this information, right? So please, some of you did it perfectly. Some of you just omitted the passport area. I mean, passport photograph. And some of you have not even done it at all. So please, I'm seeing messages from my technical team, but you know, the turnout is a little bit slow. And this class, please tell people that we are doing it. By the time you start knowing this, you'll be very surprised. You know, somebody say, where do we submit the assignment, sir? That's a very good question. Yeah, because if you, program manager, please, if you are here, respond to this. Program manager. If you can hear me, program manager, just respond to this person on the chat. If they are to submit it to you.
It's all right, I'll do that.
All right, thank you. Okay, so moving on. As you can see, we are like done with a very primary, simple, fundamental construct of HTML, and that leads us to CSS, cascading style sheet, right? If time permits us, we can just do like 15 minutes since people started complaining already. You know, this, we don't want to take it too harsh. CSS, it is a presentation part. It is the wow. It is the adjective. It is the flesh, the beauty, the styling. It is that thing that when you visit it, you say, this place is beautiful. Anything that has to do with beauty, that is what CSS handles. The technology only handles styling. You know, that is what it does. But why is this thing echoing too bad? One thing here is, as it is at the more beautiful it sounds, the more tough it is. This thing is rule-based. As simple as it is, just like as simple as Python, it is rule-based. The rule here, there is no forgiveness. If you commit it, you will see the effect straight. CSS is rule-based, right? So it takes, unlike HTML, who does not care about indentation, here it does. Unlike HTML, who does not care about whether lower or uppercase, here it does. Unlike HTML, who does not care about white space, here it does. Everything here. The rule is very, very strict. So that is about CSS. Do you understand? So why HTML is a content, CSS is the styling, I told you, is the presentation part of the content. It dictates how the HTML looks. Is a collection of rules. If certain rules are met, then a style is applied to it. For example, if you create a class and you bring a class name into it, if you follow the rule that says that if you want to apply a property to a class, it should start by a period, then the class name, then curly brackets, then you list the properties with the value. If you follow it, you will see the application instanter. If you don't, it's going to be looking at you like this. I hope you people can hear me. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Please, I
Yes,
just
sir.
repeat this thing you just said just now. You said when you start the styling, it's followed by what and what?
I said, sir, for example, when I'm trying to interpret this place, I say CSS is a collection of rules. If certain rules are met, then a style is applied to it. And the interpretation is, if you create a class, you know it's going to have a class name. And it is that class name only that you will take to CSS file after you have linked the CSS. Is the first rule there in the CSS is, if class is coming in, it's going to start with a period, that is full stop. Then the class name. Are you getting it, sir? Then curly bracket, curly, that one that has as if it's 3 in 1, 3 to the left and
Yes, yes.
to the right, exactly. Then inside it, then you begin to put the property. Property maybe like font size, it says 16 pixel, it say background color, it say red, semicolon, and all of that. Text align, center, text transformation, upper or lower, or sentence or capitalize, all of those, text weight, 700, all of that stuff. Font family, you say Nvidia or Times New Roman, this one is very common in Nigeria, and all of that stuff. This is what I'm saying, sir. That rule must be met. Otherwise, nothing will happen there. And you are going to be looking at yourself as if you are crazy. You know, this is the only part that you are not crazy, but you be thinking you're crazy. You are crazy. When you are, if you're a programmer, most of the time that you are programming, you will think that you are crazy. Because for your effort for the whole day or even 3 days, somebody who does not know, who is this guy now? What is this guy now? What is this guy doing? In fact, the first one that you did, instead of you to leave it to go and rest, you use your hand to destroy it again and you start all over. So this is how we see ourselves here. So I think this part is clear. Like, I like the way Okesin is attacking it. You know, you better understand this thing. Don't memorize it, because it's too much for you to memorize. For example, you remember I've been telling you object. Like you see, you see now, you see body. There is no class anywhere or object anywhere. I mean, or ID anywhere. This is an object of an object in a HTML called body. So you can call it the same way you can call a span here like that. The same way you can call H1, H2, all the way to H6. The same way you can call paragraph. But when a class name come in there, right? That means there is a probability that you have a lot of paragraph, but you want this one to stand out. You want this particular paragraph to be special. Then you give it a class name and you bring in the class name to this CSS. Then you start writing with a property and value. So for example, now you say body. Of course, you know, the body, this is a generic name. You say color. The color for it, you understand what the color means, and you give it a value of red. This is the pattern in which we write a code in CSS. This is the ordinances that have come to stay. This is the fundamental construct in which we use here. There is no any other way. You start by the object, curly bracket, then the property. The property here is color. The value of the property here is red, the semicolon, right? So this, if you do this in a HTML, madam, please mute. You're just joining and you are taking over this class. So if you do this, you say body is generic name, is going to take over the whole background of the HTML. It's going to make it red. That is the meaning here. Do you have question? That is the meaning. Does anybody have question?
Yeah,
Okay.
go on.
Okay.
Go on until we get it fuller.
All right, now body is gone. It's paragraph now. You say color, green. All the paragraph part in the entire HTML, call it any page. Bring it to the primary page, like home page, about us page for as far as this CSS file that you wrote this code, it's queue into the page, all the paragraph color will be green, because this is generic. This is an object of paragraph. All of them, because you did not stand it out by giving it a class name. If you had given it a class name, then with that name, now you can, separate them from the rest of the paragraph, if you are getting it. So the better practice for it is, what we have done so far, right, is try adding another paragraph to the previous span. It will also be green. What if you want one paragraph to be blue and another? So I just explained this. If you want another paragraph to be blue, of course, you are going to give it a class name. But if it is 100 million paragraph, for the fact that you're using the generic name P, which denotes paragraph, all of them will be green. But if you want another color in another paragraph, of course, you're going to give a class name to it. This is what this piece means. So classes are used extensively for styling. Notice the leading period in the leading P, that is, now, dots, I told you the full stop or the period is what we use first. That is one of the rules. Then the class name, right? Then curly brackets, and then you give the properties, right? So rules, they are not just one. As we are going to be seeing the rules. Some you may think that is conflicting, but it's not. It's just your understanding, right? So any of them that you miss, or that you refuse to follow, consequences will take forward, just like carryover. And then you will see it happening in your present. Any question on that before we enter the text properties? Any question so far?
The dot class now.
The
dot class, when you're,
it's not dot.
when you're
for all class name, use the word dot first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's imagine we've given a class name to a section or
Yes.
a div, and the class name is Boku. And we want to style that Boku. So when you enter the
CSS
class, CSS, yeah. What inside the curly bracket now? What are we doing there? What is it? Are we going to call of the
No, sir. What we are doing there, that is a property we want to talk about now.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. Any other question? As he's asking question, now know they know and they go so. Seems like it's an Igbo man.
The guy we don't do him before.
I never do him before, and I'm not Igbo. I'm Idoma.
Okay.
I'm from Ado.
Like now know they do and they go so. All right. Excuse me. Now is understanding the perfect approach to class. And class is very, 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 very common in web development and in programming generally. There is something we call relational database, like MySQL. Is full of class and activities diagram. If you don't know what a class object is I'm telling you, can never know MySQL. You may memorize it, but you can never understand it. So knowing a class object is very key. So I'm not saying that the way the class is presented here, that is the same way it's presented in MySQL or in Java or in Python. That is not what I'm saying. But the key pattern of, understanding class is very, very necessary. Already is trying to tell us that he knows if you give a class name and you want to reference it in a CSS, you're going to start with a period and the class name, the curly bracket. Is waiting for whatever will go inside now. And whatever is going inside, sir, like I told you, in a website, there are 4 things there. 4 things. A text, an image, audio, and video. There is nothing else. Or did you see a human being jumping into it in a website? It's a text, an image, a video, and audio. The rest now, you just have to mimic or orient into this object to see the wonders. That is all. So we want to take out just text and we deal with the properties of text. One of the properties of text is color. What a color does there is it changes the color of the text. When you say color, it's different from background color. You know background now. This take effect on the object of text. When you use the word color and you say red, color, we give color value in 2 ways. Number 1, plain value, like red, black that you know. The other one is a computing system that we use called hexadecimal. Maybe you start with a hashtag 000 in 3 places, that is black. When it is 6, it's very dark black. Hashtag FFF in 3 is white. When it is 6, it's brilliant white, and all of that. You get to know all this. You get to know all this, right? So color, when you say color, is the object of text, not the background. It does not have to do with the border or anything, right? The object of color itself. The color is going to take effect there. So that is what color does. How about font weight? It changes it from normal to bold, the weight of it. You all know bold in Word document already, right? You know normal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
some font families, they come with bold and italics. Some come with light. Some come with normal. Some call it ultra border. There are new, modern font family now. They come with ultra border. They write the ultra dash, then they write border. Who is that person, please? Mute. Who is this? Who is that person? Okay. So that is font weight. Now, font style. What does font style do? It changes the text from normal to italics. So if you want to check the font style, you say font style, it will give you double column like this. And then you will see underneath, it will give you normal or italics or set or sunset, several things like that. And text align, what it does, align is alignment. You can align from the left to the right, to the center, to top, to bottom, right? So text align. Like in Word document, you're going to see this one, they say left, center, right, and justify. If you use Word document very well, if you're writing something in the Word document, When you are done writing it, you're going to see left, you're going to see middle or center, you're going to see right, and you're going to see justify. This is the same thing like that. I'm not comfortable with this. What are you people feeling that sound? Yeah, can you hear that sound? Like they're tired.
Yeah, we can hear it.
What is this thing now? What is that? I'm feeling very uncomfortable here. Who is that person? Oh, everybody mute, please. Disturbing me. Okay. Then the other one is text indentation. What it does indent the paragraph. For example, you've declared a paragraph and you don't want to apply margin or padding or anything. You just want it to take that default pattern, and you give it text indentation. You want it to indent to the normal standard from the left. And the other one is font size. We've been talking about this, right? How big the text is. How do you want it to look like? You know, font size from Word document, it could size up to 12, 16, 14, 18, 20, depending on what you want. Some people customize it to 10.5, some customize it to 11, and all of that stuff, depending on, what you're dealing with. Is it a paragraph or a H1 or a H2? What kind of title or subtitle? So that is when font size comes in. These are the text, properties, right? Now we talk about measurement. But before we talk about measurement, any question? And this is not limited to this. Before you think that after all, the one he told us, this is not limited to this. Like for example, waist tie is not here. A lot of them are not here. Text transformation is not here. Text decoration is not here. A lot of them are not here. Question, please, because we are getting a little bit deeper. This is just like explaining all the font property, where you see dash, like color, font weight, font style, text align, text indent, font size. These are property. And the rest of the text, there are explanation to it. Please always go through your slides. Question, please. Question. Do you have a question? Is there any question? Can we move on? Are you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A question, please. A question, please.
Okay.
Hello, sir. And so I observed from the way you've written it, is this dash different from hyphen?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Did you
Where
get it,
there are
sir?
two words. Yes, I understand you now. Where there are two words like font weight. Yeah. That is, you know, instead of writing font, then you separate it weight. Is a one word. Is one word. Is font weight. That is different from the explanation of change it from normal to bold, where it says font style.
Okay.
Change the text from normal to italics. Text align. This is how it comes. This is how it comes. This is a pre-program. It's a pre-program. This is how it was built into the HTML documentation. Yeah. It's not, you remember I was telling you the system of naming. You are not allowed to separate two words. You either use a dash or you use underscore. Yeah, this is to tell you that this is the pattern in which they do it. Right? Or we do it because I'm part of them. Okay. Question, please. Did I answer your question, sir?
You did.
Okay. Question, please.
You did.
You need to ask questions so that you understand. Because this is a lot. It's a lot. It is. So if there is no question, or maybe you bring them in when you start applying them, If truly you're applying them, you will definitely come up with a lot of questions. I will even get tired by answering it. I'm telling you this, except when you leave
Yes,
this is the end.
I'm actually applying it like
Yes,
right now.
exactly.
And for the font weight,
You're going to see 600,
the value.
300,
Yes,
200,
does the
100.
value carry does the value carry size, or just it's just the number you just put, nothing attached to it, just like
No,
for
you just put
weight you pick there.
when you say font weight and you choose any number, go back to your test and you see how it looks. The higher the number,
Okay.
the thicker it is.
Okay.
If I'm lying, tell me as you are applying it. The higher the number,
No,
the thicker it is. 900 is thicker than 700. 700 is thicker than 500. You're going to see 900 there. You're going to see 700 there. You're going to see 600 there. You're going to see 100, 200 like that.
yes. It's actually working.
All right.
I changed the background color.
Yeah.
I've done the styling.
Yeah, keep practicing.
The weights.
Yeah. Keep practicing. Definitely question as you are practicing. Questions that you think you cannot confirm from Google or whatever, just write them down, bring them here, and we'll answer them together by the grace of God. As far as tech is concerned, at least we are here for you. So, can I move on? Hello? Permission to move on, please. Or are we tired? Can we call it a day? By the way, it's less than 6.
Yes. It's not again.
Huh? Is he here?
I don't know whether he's here, whether she said he's not entering again.
I know he's here. I understand what she meant. If she say he's not entering again, I've been teaching since JSS2. So what she meant is the brain has the inner door has been locked. He's not entering again, and I'm tired from here even. Okay. To call it a day or to call it a good evening, CSS has a whole bunch of measurements for legacy reason, pixel for PX, points for PTS, EM for FRC, EX for this one that has to do with raised to power, for exponential, REM for remitters, IN for inches, MM for millimeter, CM for centimeter, etc. These are the measurements that are available. Percentage is not here. Percentage is very used, you know, and with few exceptions, PX and EMs and even percentage, they are the most used, depending what contents you are in. If you have any question, bring it on. If you don't have a question, I'm going to wish you all a very good evening. And please don't forget to do all your assignments. And like the program coordinator I've put up on the chat, endeavor to submit to him. I need you to come on Monday by the grace of God.
Okay, sir.
Come prepared. Come prepared in the sense that install Sublime. We are not asking too much. A computer and a Sublime, and internet, finish. And you begin to see the wonder of CSS and HTML. We are not going to do JavaScript before we build BBC website, BBC that you know. They're going to build a website using HTML and CSS. It's going to look exactly the same in terms of interface. All right. God bless you. You've been a wonderful student, and do have a good evening. Bye.
Thank
you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.